Okay, hey, I am omgitsmonika, and this is my VGM backstory. So, since I was 4 years old, I have always been playing the violin. It's been my constant instrument in my life. It's like an appendage to my body. Um, and I was learning through Suzuki when I was a little kid. So, they focus on teaching you to listen to a lot of the songs before you start to attempt to play them. So, I've always had a decent ear for music. And I always played violin, and that was my thing. And I remember seeing my older siblings always playing the Super Nintendo system, and always I wanted to play, but it was never my turn because I was the youngest. So I just sat and watched them play the games a lot of the time. And then from that, I listened to a lot of the soundtracks, and just because of my ear background, I would start to pick up the tunes and they'd get stuck in my head. And I remember distinctly the day that we got a Nintendo 64. I don't know why I bumbled on the name, but yeah, it was a Wednesday. I was coming home from Suzuki group violin lessons, and my brothers were playing Donkey Kong 64, and it blew my mind. And we also had the Ocarina of Time on it, of course. And just the music in those games really stood out to me. I really loved the Ocarina of Time and just what it looked like, and seeing my brothers play it. And then I started to figure out that, hey, the tunes on Ocarina that you play in the game are really easy to play on violin. And they're just like little simple three note things. So I'd start to learn how to play all the music by ear. And then when that started to get easier, I started to play the overworld music by ear just because it would always loop. So it was easy for me to start to remember. Um, yeah, so I was always playing on violin that way. And then I remember when I was a kid, I begged to take piano lessons eventually. And my mom was very nice, and I was very lucky, and I was able to go to piano lessons. I was classically trained in piano, so I had no concept about how to play anything by ear on piano or how to read lead sheets. So I googled where to find sheet music for piano online, and I found Emu Paradise, and I started just printing off stuff and playing that. And eventually I found Radio Hyrule as well, which was a huge one for me because just having all the Zelda music in one place and being able to listen to it was phenomenal. And I would always listen to Radio Hyrule throughout my life. I listened to it in university and would put it on as background study music. And from that, I found out about Zeldathon, and inevitably ended up becoming a Zeldathon attendee after I bumped into them at one of the Symphony of the Goddess concerts that I went to. From Zeldathon, I got to meet so many cool people and play with a lot of amazing musicians when we're all jamming together. And I'm just incredibly happy that VGM has led me to so many cool opportunities and cool people. And it's just something that will always be a constant in my life. And I'm grateful for that and grateful for the community of amazing people who are a part of this. So that's my backstory. All thanks to never being allowed to play Gauntlet. Man, I love that game. I hope they put it on Switch Online Play.